Just waiting for people to come in if you're watching this on the playback. We'll give it a few minutes for people to come in. I just had quite a few people on my my Whatnot multi-broadcast, and something happened while I was multicasting. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me sign off on my iPad and get into this new live. If anybody's here, shout me out hello. Oh my gosh. I'll watch the chat on my iPad. Hello, whoever is here. Oh my gosh. I was just doing a live. I was doing a Whatnot show. My second one for the day, and I was multicasting it. I was using my phone as my way to broadcast. Oh, Kelly, you got to listen to this. You're not going to believe what happened. I was doing my Whatnot show, and if you've seen my video on Hannah Kobayashi, you would understand what I'm talking about here. There was a pop-up that came up on the screen, and let me see the chat over here. Oh gosh, it's easier to see the chat on the iPad than on my phone, but I was doing the Whatnot sale. It wasn't going well, but I had some really nice people in. Some guy came in from England, and we were talking about some of this jade that I have, and this pop-up came up on my phone, but I couldn't really see it because I was on live on Whatnot, and I couldn't like go to another app and then go off my show. And it said something about the father of the missing girl from Hawaii, and that somebody had been found dead by the LAPD. And it just totally threw me off track. Like, I'm not even broadcasting this in front of my computer and my microphone. I'm on my cell phone right now. So if the audio sucks, I'm sorry. Hopefully I'll be able to buy some wireless microphones soon. Oh my God. So I thought that this girl had died, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was just gonna make another video about her. Maybe by tomorrow, if they haven't found her yet. I thought that she died. And I said that on my live, like, I got to get off my Whatnot because this is horrible. I'm a detective, and like, I don't know what's happened. I got to get off my live. I've got to go check out the news and see what's going on. So I went over to Channel 7 here in LA, KABC 7, and apparently it wasn't the girl that was found. It was her father. The father that is visiting LA from Oahu. He was estranged from his daughter, but he was here in LA to help with the law enforcement search of his daughter. And supposedly he has been found deceased, not the daughter like I originally thought during my live, but he's been found deceased in a parking lot somewhere near LAX. For those of you not familiar, that's Los Angeles International Airport. They're not releasing the cause of death. Of course, here in LA, it will go public with the coroner's office, but I'm suspecting something very terrible. You know, I'm trying to do my sale, and I had this really nice guy, Steve, that had come in from England, from the UK, on the multicast, and he was looking at my jade and telling me like what kind of jade it was and, you know, what it was worth. And I was like, oh, I've been so stumped on this, and oh, I needed help with this. And I didn't sell anything, and I didn't have any raids, but it was like, this is really going to help me with my reselling, because now and then he pointed out a few rings that I had that he also thought were jade, and I showed him some glass. And then all of a sudden this pop-up came on my phone. And let me know if you can hear the audio, since I have no Wi-Fi mics hooked up right now. So, this audio is probably sucking, but, I was in the middle of my whatnot and it comes on that I just see this pop up, but it goes by real fast about the missing Hawaii girl in Los Angeles and something about Ryan Kobayashi, her father, and dead, and that the LAPD said dead. And I was just like, oh, thank you, Kelly. I was like, oh my God, like, has she been found dead? Like, oh my God. And it threw me because even though I'm not working this case, I am a detective and I have worked a lot of homicide cases here in Los Angeles, a lot of missing persons, a lot of homicides. I'm very vested in the girl in the sewer case. If you want to go to my playlist, just click crime and you can see all the videos on her. Oh my gosh, I was getting ready to do an update on Hannah, but I was just waiting for more information. And then I saw the pop-up come across my phone. And I was like, oh my God, they found her dead. I mean, I almost like started crying in my show. Like, oh my God, like I wasn't expecting that because I think she's out there and she needs to be found because something's very wrong. Whether it's her own doing or somebody else's, something's very, very wrong. Somebody's gone off the rails. So when I was doing my live and I couldn't go to the news and people were like, oh, where was she found? How did she die? And I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm going to have to go off the air. And then the guy in England was like, hey, it's, 4 something in the morning here, so I got to go to bed and good night. And I was like, oh, thank you so much, Steve, for helping me with, my jewelry and my jade and my show. And then this pop-up comes up and I'm like, oh my God, is the girl dead? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I was just like, I don't want to get a death notice of somebody in the middle of my show where I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be up. And, for some of the people watching on YouTube, maybe they don't know that, I've had a 40-year detective career, 35 years full time. And I'm very vested in this case, as I was the Chanel Banks case, as I am the Martinez case, the girl in the sewer case. So I misread that. I was like, oh my God, she was found dead according to her father. Like, oh my gosh. And so I wasn't having any sales and I was doing better on the YouTube end of it than I was doing on the sale end of it. And I was like, you know what, at least it'll help me reprice some of this stuff on my eBay. And, now I know about my dragon. Speaking of my dragon, this is my dragon. It's a yellow jade. Worth a lot of money. I'm so happy I have it. But, I'm trying to learn about this and I'm trying to learn from the whatnot community. And I'm always open to learning and suggestions and education here. Sometimes you buy something just to learn about it so that you'll know next time when you see it. Well, when that pop-up came up and I saw missing Hawaiian girl and I saw the name Ryan Kobayashi and LAPD said found dead, I thought they meant the woman. So I apologize for anybody that was watching on that Whatnot multicast, and you can go back and listen to it and you'll hear my shock in my voice. I thought she had been found deceased, and it was just, then people were like, well, how was she, where was she found, and how is she, like, I don't know, let me get off here and let me see. And then I see that her father, and he seems so distraught. And some of the family that came from New York said that he couldn't even really go on the air very much to talk because he was too distraught. And then I learned last night that the aunt that she was going to meet in New York and the aunt's husband, that wasn't the same aunt that I'd been seeing on TV. There was someone named Lori or Larry, something like that was her aunt, but that was a different aunt. And the aunt that she was going to visit was some other aunt who was married to a guy named Bob, and they were going to a concert on the 12th, and she really did miss that flight. She didn't just walk out of the airport. She missed the flight because apparently when she had the very short layover at LAX, and it was late at night, for some reason, American Airlines, kudos to American, oh my God, they sound like a terrible airline. Apparently they changed the gate. And there were literally people running through the airport to get to the right gate because they went to the gate to get on the plane and the plane wasn't there because they changed the gate and they didn't tell anybody. I don't know what happened. And her ex-boyfriend, who had planned to go with her on the trip, who was her boyfriend at the time when they made the tickets, they had since broke up, but they still decided to take the trip together. So when they got off the plane at LAX and they took a short break, they went their separate ways. And then, when they started to head towards the gate separately, apparently the gate had been changed, and the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend said he had to run to the gate to make that flight. And she didn't make it on time. She missed it. And then I think she contacted the aunt the next day saying that, hey, I'm still in LA. I missed my flight. And then she was planning on flying out later the next day. So she ended up taking the subway, they think. She took the metro, which even though it's like 14 miles, it's like an hour and a half. Hey, kitty. It's an hour and a half ride because of all the stops to get to the Grove. And she went into a bookstore where she charged her phone. She took a picture. She sent it to the aunt, told her she's at the Grove. She's charging her phone. She missed her flight. She's going back to the airport the next, that evening. Apparently she spent the night in the airport at LAX on Friday night, then went to the Grove Saturday. There was a LeBron James event there, but apparently that event carried over to the second day. And she went back to the airport Saturday night, was seen there talking to a ticket agent. I'm not sure which day, but for some reason she didn't make the next flight that they had booked her on. And then they just canceled her out, and her luggage was sent to New York. She's got no clothes other than what she's wearing. So then Sunday she goes back to the Grove, and somebody takes a YouTube video where she's in the background, and she somehow gets a hold of it. I'm not sure how. That's very confusing, but somebody screenshotted her, and she actually put it on her Instagram. And that was the day that all the texts went crazy and all the weird messages started going out Sunday and Monday to her family and friends saying that she was in danger, she was being followed, somebody had stole her identity. And she didn't say someone stole her ID or stole her identification. She said somebody took her identity. And I've recently heard that she told her family that she did have her driver's license and her passport still, but she claimed that she was in the Matrix or something. And, it sounds kind of like a mental health issue to me. Like something doesn't sound right, or somebody drugged her, or something just doesn't sound right. And then, she spent at least 2 nights in the airport. Now, where she was Sunday night after the Grove, when she went back to the Grove on Sunday, I don't know. But by Monday, she was back in the airport, and she actually talked to a ticket agent, apparently at American Airlines, and still didn't have a flight. I'm not sure why. See, all of that doesn't make sense. Like, I can understand that she missed the first flight Friday night because it was a short layover between the Maui flight and the flight to New York, but they changed the gates, and there was confusion, and, some people didn't make the plane. I can understand that. But everything that happened after, I don't understand. And then on Monday, they did ping her phone to LAX. And I don't understand that either, because that was on the 11th. That was Monday on Veterans Day. And the LAPD didn't officially open the case until November the 12th. So how did they ping her phone to the airport on Monday the 11th if the LAPD did not get involved until Tuesday the 12th? But whether they did or they didn't, and the family claims that they did, maybe she had like the locator ID on her phone through Apple. Maybe she shares her location with friends or family. Maybe that's how it was pinged to LAX. But then it went dead. And apparently Monday night, she left the airport and got on the subway at Century and Aviation. I didn't even know there's I guess there's an above ground metro line there now. That's just east of LAX. And she took it to the Rosa Park station. I'm not sure where that is. and then was seen walking around the Rosa Park station. And of course, she's very easy to spot because she's got these brightly colored tie-dye leggings on, these tie-dye colored pants. And they're very, if you're looking at somebody for surveillance, it'd be very easy to spot in a crowd. So then she ended up at the Pico station in downtown LA next to Crypto.com Arena. It's about a block away. It's where the Lakers play. Most people refer to it as Staples Center. It was Staples Center for years, but now it's Crypto.com Arena. I heard that. I didn't even know what they were talking about. And then I was like, oh, it's the former Staples Center. Okay, that's where she... So they actually have video of her getting off the train there, and she's with someone. And they just described that person as an unidentified person. And apparently it's been reported by a family member that the unidentified person was indeed a man. The police have not confirmed that it was a man. The family has said that there's information they can't release because it's still an ongoing investigation. But I do believe, based on what I'm hearing now, that the unidentified individual was a man. And she was with him when she exited the Pico Metro near the former Staples Center, which is now Crypto.com Arena. I don't know if that same person, who is believed to be a man, got on the train with her at LAX when she boarded at Aviation and Century Boulevard at that station. I don't know if they saw that person there, and I don't know if they saw that person with her when she was seen walking around the Rosa Parks metro station. And I'm going to have to look that up because I'm an Angelino, but there's a lot of, they've been building the subway since the 80s, since the mid-80s, and they're still building new lines. I mean, this has been going on for over 40 years, this construction. So there's always new lines that are coming up, even above ground lines, like, oh, I didn't know there's another line. There's a K or there's an L. Like, I never knew, it just started with one and then there was two. And it's literally 40 years and it's still a work in progress. And so she went from LAX to the Rosa Park station to the Union, or not Pico Union, but Pico, near the former Staples Center where the Lakers play. And it's now called Crypto.com Arena. And they do have some surveillance footage of her. They showed it to her family. The family was able to identify that that was her. Apparently she's wearing the same pants that she was wearing when she got off the plane at LAX from Maui. So that was from Friday to Monday. She's still in the same clothes. And then, the phone stopped pinging at LAX sometime on Monday. And airport, they have her on surveillance there. She did talk to a ticket agent on Monday, but that's when, the text continued to get very bizarro. And the phone, I guess, it's been off. It just goes to voicemail. It's not pinging anywhere. It's not showing up on Find My Phone, or if she's got her ID shared with people, none of it's showing up. And the family thinks that she's with somebody possibly against her will. And so then, here we fast forward to 2 weeks later, and I'm doing a Whatnot broadcast, and all of a sudden I see a pop-up on my screen about, I hear the father's name, and I hear, the Hawaiian girl, and Father Ryan Kobayashi, somebody found dead, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing my show. It threw me off the track, and all of a sudden the show wasn't important to me because even though I don't know this girl, I don't know this family, I'm not working this case, it's just like, it just threw me off the rails. Like, oh my God, like, is she dead? And then people, I had people watching from England, and some girl was on there going, oh, where was she found, and how did she die? And I thought she had died. So I shut down my Whatnot. I shut down my multi-broadcast, and before I turned on to go live here to talk to my audience, see if any local Angelinos could come on and tell me what's going on. I clicked the pop-up, the notification that came up on my phone, and I was mistaken. It wasn't the girl that was found dead. It was her dad. Yeah, Ryan Kobayashi. And he's been here, oh God, I guess since a few days after this all happened, as our family members from New York. And yeah, it's probably costing them a lot of money to stay here in LA. I mean, they live in New York and Hawaii. And I had just learned today that he's from the island of Oahu, where the gal, she is from Maui. And supposedly she and the dad were estranged, but he was very, invested in finding her and, wanted to make things right. And oh my God, now they've just announced, the LAPD has announced that he has been found deceased in a parking lot near LAX. That's all I know. No cause of death has been reported. No matter how it happened, it's tragic. The poor guy was under so much stress trying to find his daughter. What a tragic, tragic turn that this story has taken. Oh, I don't even know these people, and this is just tugging at my heartstrings. I just feel so bad for these people. Oh, gosh. I hope he didn't unalive himself. I don't know. Maybe the stress of this was just too much for him. Hannah, if you're out there and you're watching this, please contact your family. Please contact the LAPD Missing Persons Unit. Feel free to walk into any police station or fire station and identify yourself. This is so tragic. I am sorry, people. And I really apologize for those who are watching me on Whatnot. Didn't seem that like anybody wanted to buy anything. But I was having a really good chat on my YouTube, and then this terrible news just broke. So, Ryan, rest in peace. Ryan Kobayashi, found dead here in Los Angeles. Hannah Kobayashi, I hope you're out there. I hope you're safe. And, wow. Yeah, Kelly, I was thinking that too. Yeah, earlier his family was saying he couldn't even go live. Like when they had their rally, they didn't want him, he didn't want to go live on camera because he's too distraught. I did see a couple news clips where he was putting their own flyers out before the LAPD made flyers, and he just said it's a family's worst nightmare, it's a parent's worst nightmare. And then I saw a couple clips of the sister, Sydney, in Maui, and she was with the missing girl's mother. Her name is Brandy Yee, and she's obviously distraught because she doesn't know where her child is. But Ryan had traveled from Oahu. I'm assuming he caught a flight in Honolulu to LAX. He's been here since, I guess, a few days after it happened. I know when she went off the radar after Monday, I think that's when the family started coming in and really pushing LAPD to pursue this. Wow, I'm relieved to find out that the girl didn't die like I thought she had, but I'm sad, very sad that the father could not make it through this. Just awful. Just tragic. I think that the family should, if they haven't already, maybe they should start a GoFundMe to pay for some of their expenses in Los Angeles while they're here. And maybe people could donate to that, and maybe someone could start a reward. That helps a lot of people get found. I remember when the very tragic death happened of Ennis Cosby, and nobody was saying anything. And then a big reward was offered, I think by the National Enquirer, and as soon as that big reward was put out there into the public, and this was before there was social media, but it worked, and they were able to find out who had taken his life, and they even were able to find the weapon. The weapon was actually found where I lived in Studio City in the LA River. Yeah, it's just a concrete LA river. It's not really a river. Wow. So maybe somebody could offer a reward for information. Maybe they should start a GoFundMe to help for their expenses. But now, oh my gosh, now they have a heartbreaking, but someone mentioned Ryan spoke of Hannah in past tense in one of the interviews. That was strange. That is strange. You know, this whole thing is strange because at first I was worried about, well, why was the ex-boyfriend on the same plane? And apparently they had made the tickets when they were still a couple, but then they since broke up. And I don't know if he was going to travel to the concert with her. I've also heard that she was coming here on a professional photography gig. They said her first photography gig, and that she actually had a reservation at a hotel in New York. She wasn't actually staying with at least two of the aunts that are there. She was going to go to a concert with one of them and her husband on the 12th. She never made it to New York, and apparently her luggage did. But then I also heard a report that it was sent back to LA, and I don't even know if that's true. Who knows at this point? But I think there's some sort of a mental health issue going on. And I hope she can be found and hospitalized, and, you know, I hope it's not too late. And, well, it's just, you know, this thing with Ryan Kobayashi, like, oh my God, like, ugh, people. Yeah, and I'm sorry I don't have my Wi-Fi mics. I just got my first YouTube check on the 21st. Yay! But it wasn't enough to buy my new mics. The professional photo gig was her getting a press pass for the show. There was a photo of her with her purple suitcase back in LA. Oh, so I had just read that earlier this evening that somehow the luggage had come back to LA. I wondered about that. If they said it was her first professional photography gig, but she was going to New York to attend a concert with her aunt and her aunt's husband, Bob. And that, by the way, was a different aunt than the one that's been on the news. There's another one that's been on the news a lot, and they're like, this is her aunt. And then there's also the aunt, if you say aunt or aunt, in New York, who she wasn't going to stay with her, but I guess she was meeting her at the airport. She was staying in a hotel. She had reservations for a hotel, some type of photography gig. But she's been off the radar. Her phone's been off the radar since Monday. And she did exit the airport Monday evening. Did take a couple of subway rides to downtown LA. Got off at the Pico Metro station near Crypto.com Arena. That's formerly the Lakers Staples Center. Now, the Lakers still play there, but everybody knows it around here as the Staples Center. But hey, it's all about the money, isn't it? Okay, have a good night, Kelly Ray. Thanks for coming and thanks for modding. I really appreciate your help here. Well, I should go off the air. It's even getting late here in LA. So I sound like an 80-year-old woman. It's 9:04 and it's late here in LA, but thanks for coming, Kelly. I really appreciate this. And like I said, I apologize so much for the audio. You know, if you weren't here earlier, I was doing a live whatnot, and I was multi-broadcasting it to my YouTube channel, and a pop-up showed up on my phone, something about the missing Hawaii girl, something about Ryan Kobayashi, something about being found dead in Los Angeles, and I thought they meant the girl. I thought they meant Hannah, and I was like, oh my God, did her father just announce that she died? Like, oh my God, you know, and it just threw me off the rails. I couldn't do my show anymore, and I went off the air, and I then clicked that notification, and it said that it was her father that had been found dead, not the missing girl, but the father who had flown from Oahu to find her. Yes, rest in peace, Ryan Kobayashi. There's no details being announced. Hopefully we'll know more tomorrow. Ugh. No way, he killed himself. Frozen in shock, waiting for her. Be found, no way he killed himself. I hope not. Oh, either way, he's gone. But hey, rabbit, I have a rabbit down here that's trying to eat my wires. I'll show you to her. I'll show her to you. Hold on. I've got all these cords here. Hey. Let me flip the camera. There she is. She's trying to eat my chargers. Please, don't cut my show off. Hey, you can always send her a super thanks. It'll buy banana bunny treats. Her favorite, oxbow banana treats, and also the apple banana. Yeah, her mailing address is in the description of my videos. Oh my God. Those treats are like bunny crack to her. Okay, I'm back. Well, very sad, people. This is very sad. Hopefully we'll know more tomorrow. I was going to do a new video tomorrow about Hannah, but oh geez. You know, I appreciate everybody coming. And thank you to all those that came over to the multi-broadcast that I was doing with Whatnot here onto YouTube. If you didn't catch that, you can catch that later on the replay. I just need to update the thumbnail and turn on the monetization. I don't think I get anything for it, though, because it's a multi-broadcast. Gosh, I really hope this family can start, like, a reward for Hannah. Maybe, I know with LAPD it takes a long time, because I know with the Martinez case, the Mercy Melissa Martinez case that I have many videos on in my crime playlist, it took like a year or two to get the city council to approve the LAPD reward for that girl, and that's never been solved. So, maybe the family can start a GoFundMe and they can, you know, use some of the funds for a reward. And, you know, if somebody offers a reward, I wish I had it to offer, and then, you know, maybe people could start calling the tip lines, and, you know, we just need to get this out there. Hey, maybe my buddy Nancy Grace needs to get involved in this if she hasn't already. Nancy, honey, if you're out there, maybe you could do a show about this. Go on the air. Go on your social media. Oh, just tragic. Rest in peace, Ryan Kobayashi. Rest in peace. All I know is he was found in a parking lot near the airport, and they're not releasing the cause of death, but it's probably not good. I know he was very, very distraught over his missing daughter. Yeah. God, the guy came all the way in from Oahu. I'm sure her family, they're all missing work and their jobs, and they're spending money to stay here in hotels and transportation. I mean, LA is a very big city, and it's very spread out between LAX and downtown, and where she was spotted at the Grove. All those three locations are nowhere near one another, and it's very expensive to travel here. It's very expensive to park here. It's expensive to eat here, to stay here. Was he a jumper? Yeah, I haven't heard that. Is that true? Did he jump? I hope not. Oh, God, I don't want to cry. Awful. I hope not. Oh my God. I've had a lot of suicide homicides, but oh my God, I can't imagine. I can't imagine his pain. I mean, if I just lost my pets, oh my God. If I came home and, you know, the house had burned down, or they were kidnapped, they were gone, I'd never get over it. Even if that girl is found alive and safe, you know, now she's lost her father. Apparently they were estranged, and he was just heartsick. I hope that's not true. I hope it's not true. I hope he didn't jump. Oh, I'm sure it's all going to come out. I mean, here in LA, everything goes public with the coroner's office eventually. But right now, nobody's talking. So this was just announced a few minutes ago while I was live, probably about 45 minutes ago on my Whatnot multi-broadcast. And by the way, I'm on my cell phone here. I'm not at my computer. I don't have my mics hooked up. I don't have my Wi-Fi mics. I did receive my very first YouTube check after almost 4 years. 3 years and almost 11 months. I got my first check. Oh my God. Yes, they said it on the news 5 minutes ago. He jumped from the parking lot at 4 a.m. this morning. Oh my God. Was it one of the parking structures at LAX? Oh, I don't even know these people, and this is just making me feel ill. Now I think it's more important than ever to find this girl. Yeah, thank you so much. It's kind of a joke. It's, 4 years and what is it, 340 or 350 videos, and I've got $134.65 to show for it. I was really hoping I needed to buy a mic that I can go live on my computer. I have a $15 Amazon mic that's a joke. And my Wi-Fi mics that I have, they work all right, but when I'm doing like a live, like broadcasting from somewhere else, they don't charge for very long. The charge gives out, and so I need some Rode Wi-Fi mics. Maybe I'll go with a cheaper brand, but I need at least 2 of the Wi-Fi mics and a transmitter for my cell phone, and I need a Rode and a stand. The one I see on eBay, they have a lot of deals going right now because of they've started Black Friday early, since Thanksgiving's really like a week late this year. There's always an early Thanksgiving or late, and this one is late, so it gives the retail stores 1 week less of shopping. 6151 West Century Boulevard. And which location is that? Is that one of the hotels or one of the office buildings? I've done a lot of work down there. I'll have to look it up. Is it one of the hotels? Ugh. But anyway, the point I was trying to make is my first check was not enough to cover the mics, and that's what I had planned to do with the first check. So there are some Black Friday early deals on Amazon, so I may get the one for the desktop. Oh, the Hilton. Oh, no. I know. Oh, my God. The Hilton on Century. I worked cases there years ago. Oh, my God. I've done a lot of work in my, is that the one that's on the north side of the street as you go into the airport, and it's on the right-hand side? I did a lot of cases in my career for Hilton, and I did a lot of cases at the LAX Hilton, so I know that garage. Oh my gosh. It's been years, it's been decades. It's probably been, I don't know, 30 years since I did all the Hilton cases. I used to do the Woodland Hills Hilton and the LAX Hilton cases regularly, like dozens of them. Homewood Suites by Hilton. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look all this up when I get off this show. Like, well, not a show, but it's a broadcast. And if this is true, this is just so horrible. It was so awful though when I was on my whatnot, and then I saw the pop-up, and then I misreported that the girl had died. I thought they had found her dead, and that the father had reported it by the LAPD, or saying that the LAPD had found her dead and the father was reporting it. And then I get off my show. I go off my show prematurely, and I hit the notification for ABC7. It's on my phone. I have the app on my phone. And I read that it was the dad. And I was relieved that it wasn't the girl. Like, oh, she's not dead, but, oh, but no, now the father's dead. And that girl's going to feel a lot of guilt. Oh, that Hilton, yeah. Oh, my God. The cases I did for Hilton and Woodland Hills, those were fantastic. But the LAX cases, the LAX Hilton, it was bad. There was a lot of bad things happening there 30 years ago at that hotel. I can't even get into it. Probably already said too much, but that place had some bad vibes. I mean, it was one of the toughest accounts I had ever worked in my career. I don't know who that is. SF Investigates. Oh my God. I'm sure I'll know more tomorrow, and I can make a follow-up. I can make a long-form content video. Like I said, I apologize for the audio. I will get myself a new desktop mic. I think that's going to be first, just because that'll be a little bit more affordable than the Wi-Fi mics that I need for my phone. I need 2 of those and a transmitter. And the ones I have now, they're just absolute garbage. I mean, the charge doesn't even last an hour. Now, if I get the Rode ones, I'll get an 8-hour charge on those, and they come with a charging case and everything. So, you know, I'm so proud of myself that first check hit that account. I mean, my God, 300 and some videos. And you know, I have some friends up in Alaska. They're my YouTube friends. And they started their channel a little bit after I started mine. They're an older couple. They're wonderful people, Rob and Sarah. If you're watching, just love you so much. Love your videos. And I noticed that their subscriber count was just almost like neck and neck with mine. They were a little bit ahead of me. And I had something like 329 videos, and they had 328 or something. I'm like, oh my God, we have almost the same amount of videos. We have almost the same amount of subscribers. And then they put this video out about getting supplies in for the winter. And there was a picture in the background of their thumbnail of the Alaska train. And they didn't even use the word train or Alaska train in their title. So they didn't have any key words, but it was just about them going and getting their winter supplies for the winter. And, you know, they're standing at the flag stop, train stop, which is so awesome. And for some reason, and it's a good video. It's very good. But it went viral. And they got like 1.5 million views. And now it covers all their channel expenses for the last, couple years. And I'm like, oh my God, like, why can't that happen? Like, I never meant to be monetized, but I got to pay for my editing software, and I got to pay for my clip software, and I own the publishing rights to certain songs through Epidemic, and oh my God. So then I was like, well, maybe I should like start going for monetization, and I better get a niche really soon because my videos are just all over the place. But then I'm sort of a newsie besides a detective, so, and I can't really talk about my cases here to the public. So like, let's do some news videos, and that seems to be working for me. And I'm getting more and more subs. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. That'll give you notifications whenever a new video comes out or whenever I go live. And you can always contact me. My email and my address will always be in the video descriptions. I'll have to go put it in after this one since I just went live. This will be on my live tab. So I have my long form, my short form, and then I have my lives. And I was hoping like somebody would come in, and somebody did. Arera Chen 74. Thank you for coming in and letting everybody know the latest information about the LAX Hilton. That just, that disturbs me even more because, my case is there. Oh my God. That account might have, I think it might have even started in the late 80s. I know I was still doing those cases in the 90s. And it started at the LAX Hilton, and then several years later, I started working the Woodland Hills Hilton, and that's a beautiful hotel. If you ever want to stay in the valley, I would highly recommend the Woodland Hills Hilton. But I'll be damned, I would never, excuse my language, the stuff that was going on at the LAX Hilton, oh my God. I'm surprised somebody didn't like take me out with those cases. Like, oh my God, that place had, and I couldn't believe it because Hilton is a classy hotel, It's not the Motel 6, what do they call that? The Motel 8 now? No, it's a classy place. It's a nice hotel. And it's very convenient to LAX and to the west side of LA, but Those were rough cases. And now you're telling me that place had the worst vibes, and now you're telling me that this guy jumped off the parking structure there? Like, that just brought me to tears. Hannah, where are you? Come on, honey, come forward. Your family, they want you. They are not going to be mad, whatever's happened. Just come forward. If you need help, walk into any police station or fire department or hospital. We're all here for you. We're all willing to help you. We're all looking for you. I don't know if you're still wearing the tie-dye pants. If you're not, put those pants back on, because that'll help us find you. Anybody that's with her, you better take her in. Help her out. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's a mental health issue, a drug issue. Just everything goes wrong. You know, the American Airlines, why did you change the gate on Friday night? You changed the gate and people were running to the plane, and some people didn't make it. And now all of this, because of some idiot at American Airlines who said, hey, there's a gate change. And it was probably out of their control. It was probably the airport. Like, okay, it's not this gate, it's this gate. LAX is a zoo, you know. So there was a gate change. Nobody knew. It was too late. And everybody's running to the gate to make the plane. She misses the plane. Now she's missing. Now her father is deceased. And, you know, his family is probably in Oahu. You know, they're in Oahu. The mom and the sister in Maui. The aunts and the uncle, the cousins are in New York. Some of them are here. Some of them are there. I've heard that they did find the luggage. The luggage did make it to New York, and now somehow a suitcase has made it to LA. I don't know if that's true. But the phone is dead. I hope you're alive, Hannah. And I pray for Ryan. Don't be scared, Hannah. We're all here to help you. Rest in peace, Ryan Kobayashi. It's just too much grief to bear. Anybody's ever had a really horrible thing happen, grief can mess a person up. I just can't imagine his stress and his lack of sleep, and he's probably not eating right, not sleeping right, and there's probably pressures for him to get back to his job in Hawaii, but he's here trying to find his kid, and it was probably just too much for him. What an awful situation. Nothing is worth unaliving themselves for, nothing. But I do understand his grief. Hannah, I hope you're found. I hope you're alive. Reach out. And if the family's listening to this, anybody that knows her, that can get this information to the family, try to start a GoFundMe. If you do, I'll be happy to link it in my next video. I'll be happy to link it. If there is one, somebody here let me know. If there's already one that's been started for the family to help cover their expenses while they're here in LA. Or better than that, someone should start a GoFundMe to help collect for a reward. You know, let's, I'm not going to do it because I don't know the family, but I think somebody who's an immediate family member. Oh, they do have a GoFundMe, but for the search. Wow, can somebody shoot me that link? I can research that later. I'm going to make another video, and I'll put the link in this video too. Oh, they've raised $15K. See, you know where I was confused is there was that other girl that was missing the week before. The week before Hannah went missing, there was that actress Chanel, who I mistakenly referred to in a latter video as Chandra. I don't know. I must have had Chandra on the mind, but Chanel Maya Banks went missing, and her family, also from New York, coincidentally, had started a GoFundMe. But then it became known that she wasn't missing at all, and that she'd been alive the whole time, and that her husband was covering for her whereabouts, and she was at some religious retreat in Texas, and then the family took down the GoFundMe and supposedly returned the money. I don't know. But I had that link up. But I'll be happy to put the link up for Hannah's family. I don't know what to say. I thank you, MDC, for coming in. Inarachachan 74, if I'm pronouncing that right, I hope so. Thank you for coming in. Erica Levis, thank you. Butterfly Poet, thank you for coming in. Kelly, I think she's already gone to sleep, but thank you, Kelly, if you're watching this on the replay. For those of you watching that are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please. Chanel going missing and then saying she was breaking away from her mom has definitely affected LA's response to this. I agree, and let me tell you, I am not a police officer. I have never been a police officer. I have been in the private sector my entire career, but I have worked a lot with the LAPD. I have worked a lot of homicide cases and a lot of missing person cases, but as a civilian, I've worked a lot of life insurance cases, death cases, homicides, murders, suicides, disappearances. I still have my connections with the LAPD, and I do think that the whole situation that happened with Chanel Banks might have skewed their view on, oh, here's another one. You know, here's another young woman. They're about the same age and both in the same area, and, you know, the family's freaking out, they're missing, but they're really not, and they're just out there, and, you know, they're putting all their resources into this, and it turned, you know, her husband's like a suspect. The poor guy knew where she was apparently all along, and, you know, he was like, hey, this is going to affect my job, this could affect my career, and, you know, I don't think he wanted to be under a microscope by the police, so then he had to fess up that she was in Texas, and what a mess. What a mess. Now I just feel like everybody was duped, you know, like, you know, that girl, oh. So now this has happened, and, you know, there was weird texts that were going through from this girl, and so now everybody's like, oh, it's another Chanel Banks, you know, oh no, like, and she's a grown woman. You know, she's a big girl. This is not a kid. This is not a minor. This is not an elderly. And this is not what's considered a high alert missing persons. There are certain ramifications, certain things that have to qualify a person for a high alert missing person, and she's not high alert. She's been seen alive. She's been seen walking around. She's been in the airport. She's been at the Grove. You know, she posted on her Instagram. You know, she's, you know, as of Monday the 11th, she wasn't deceased. She's with somebody. They don't consider it a high alert missing persons case. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Which case would you love to hear? This case, the one we're talking about now, about Hannah Kobayashi? Or were you referring to Chanel? I have a video on the Chanel Banks case, and I have a long form content on the Hannah Kobayashi case. The case that means the most to me, because now I know this woman's family, the missing Mercy Melissa Martinez. Yes, this one. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep going on this. I'll make another video soon. Share it. I need to be like my friends in Alaska, Rob and Sarah. I need to get one of my 350 some videos to go viral, just so I can pay myself back for all the editing software, the equipment, the Epidemic Sound publishing cost, everything. I need to get the mics replaced. I'm doing this on my phone right now, and there's no Wi-Fi mic, so I know the audio is gonna suck. I apologize. So are you saying that the GoFundMe is up to 22K. When I do get off the air, this will take YouTube a while to upload anything that's alive that has a chat going. Takes a few days. It doesn't take a few days for the video to load, but it'll take a few days for the chat to process, because I guess they have to check it, make sure it's all right, that it doesn't go against community standards. So you will be able to replay the chat as well. It's just you won't be able to see it as soon as you'll be able to see the video. And I will edit the description and put the link to the GoFundMe. I'll have to find it. Hopefully I'll be able to find that. And I'm going to go for just a few more minutes here. Oh my gosh. I think this is the first video where I ever cried. I just can't, you know, my heart goes out to that man. Oh, I wish I could have known you, Ryan. Sometimes that's all you can do in these cases, is you can just be there for the families. Especially in the death investigations, you can be there for the families. You know, I now know the family of missing Mercy Melissa Martinez, who was found in the sewer in the Hollywood Hills. And, you know, she's got a mom and a dad and 2 kids, 2 young boys. Their grief is just so awful. I had heard from the family that, you know, on the news that the guy wasn't doing very well. He was too distraught to speak publicly, but somebody said here tonight that he referred to her in the past tense. I hadn't heard that. I just saw the part where he talked about how hard it was, you know, not knowing. You know, there's family in Maui, there's family in Oahu, there's family in New York. And many of those people are here. Why did it have to be the Hilton at LAX? You know, I've done probably over 10,000 cases, probably more than that in my career. And there's certain cases that really stand out because they were really, really wonderful and they helped somebody, or they were really awful. And it was just like, that was hard. I earned my money on that one. Oh, it was in an interview with an LA news station in person. He said she was. Oh, okay. That's odd for him to say that. And apparently the ex-boyfriend that was on the same plane, who had made the tickets with her because they were together at the time, but now they were no longer together by the time they took this trip. I guess he's, you know, he made it to New York just fine. And, you know, he's been helpful with information, I've heard. And the person that she was seen with, who I believe is an unidentified male, I don't think they know who it is. There were also a couple of Venmo transactions that have happened that are with people they don't recognize. That seems suspicious. I guess, you know, when you don't set your Venmo to private, people can see your transactions if they're friends with you on Venmo. And there was a couple of strange transactions. I think those are key. Wow. Rest in peace, Ryan Kobayashi. And Hannah, if you're out there, come forward. We're all praying for you. And as soon as I can get this video set up on the playback, I'll find the link for the family's GoFundMe. Oh, it is Mercy Melissa Martinez. And the video, the first video is from 2022. And it's the body found in the sewer. If you start with that one, I have all the videos in order on the playlist. So if you go to my main channel page and click playlist and go to crime, the most recent videos are at the top of the page and the older videos are at the bottom of the page. So scroll down to 2022. YouTube will reflect that as 3 years ago. And you'll see the body found in the sewer. And that was the first of it. And then I lost somebody. And the same week that I lost somebody, somebody close to the missing girl, well, we didn't even know who it was at the time, but they reached out. And that's when I knew her identity. Actually, I found that out on a Thursday in October 2022. I found out her identity, and I was kind of brought into this, but not as I'm not working the case in any way, but I became aware of it, and the next day I lost somebody, and I couldn't wait to talk to her because I wanted to tell her, like, oh, you're not going to believe what happened. Like, somebody saw my YouTube video, and people are reaching out now about the body in the sewer, and, you know, I know who it is, but I can't say her name yet. And then another loss happened. Yeah. I was actually at the girl's funeral. It was private, but I was invited, so I did go to the girl's funeral. And it was worth it because I did find out, met her family, met her kids, her parents, and I found out some information there that may have been helpful for the LAPD. And they had put out a very large reward. I think it's $50,000, and it's not yet been solved. Well, I'm going to have to sign off for now. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Once again, if you're not subscribed, please do so. Please hit that bell notification. I am from Los Angeles, California, in the United States. Wow. Hello. Thanks for coming. You'll need to see this video. Yeah, if you want to see the video, you can go to, I have another playlist that talks about some of the losses. Yeah. I'm not sure the name of the playlist. It might be Rest in Peace. But yeah, that all happened around the time of the Mercy Melissa Martinez case, and I had just found out about it, and I found out, like, well, I knew about the case, but I found out the identity, and it was still being held private, and so I had to keep it private. I couldn't even announce if it was a man or a woman, and I did not. I kept everything close to the cuff, and I didn't release any information publicly until it was approved by LAPD. I know the homicide detective on that case now, and that's a rough one. I know from working my own homicide cases as a PI that every now and then you get a rough one. I think my worst ones were the suicides, the unalivings. Those were the rough ones, but the girl in the body in the sewer case, you can see it on my crime playlist. I think I have at least 3 videos on that. Actually, there's 4, because I was able to release an update around Christmas time. I remember saying that an update is coming soon. So I think there's actually 4 on that if you want to go check those out. Once again, rest in peace, Ryan Kobayashi. Oh, just, this is so tragic. For those of you just coming in, I was doing a Whatnot live, and I'm sorry I don't have my mics here, so the audio's not great. I was doing a Whatnot live. I was broadcasting on my YouTube channel on my iPad, trying to follow both chats and run a live show, and during that show, a pop-up came up on my screen about the Kobayashi case, and I thought that the girl had passed away, but she hadn't. Apparently, she's still missing, and it was her father. And one of my viewers here in the chat tonight has provided the information that he may have jumped from the parking garage at the LAX Hilton on Century Boulevard. You guys will have to watch this back on the playback for those that are just coming in late. When YouTube shows the playback of a live video, it does take a while to process. And the chat it takes up to 24 to 48 hours for the chat to reprocess. So, you know, if you want to wait a day or so to see the entire video, and you can follow the chat. And I mean, this is breaking news as I'm on the air. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. And we have about 3 more minutes, and then I'll have to get off the air. Let's just pray. Let's just say a prayer for Ryan and Ryan's family. Hopefully he's in a better place tonight. Hopefully he will be reunited someday with his missing daughter. But let's just hope and pray that she's found alive and that she's going to be okay, and she's going to get whatever help that she needs. Don't be scared, Hannah. Just come forward. Thank you for coming, Arara-chan74, for participating in the chat. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. I love all my viewers and my subscribers. You guys are my family. Means the world to me. I have people watching from all over the world. Feel free to shout out your location. I'll be happy to shout you out in the chat. Let's just, you know, everybody say a prayer tonight for Mr. Ryan Kobayashi. It's very sad. Thanks for coming.